What's up guys, PKTCG here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today guys, we're going to be looking at a first place Gardevoir EX list that I found on Limitless. Now I've been really curious on if Gardevoir really actually survived rotation, and I've been pleasantly surprised to learn that it's still alive and kicking. It's kind of a shell of its former self, losing things like the single prize Gardevoir and Zacian V really hurt this deck. But I think that the way that the current version of Gardevoir just feels really good in the format. It's not a perfect deck, and it does have a lot of flaws, but it's a lot of fun to play, and it's a very easy deck to kind of just be able to sit down and play. And that's what I'm going to do today, is I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to play Gardevoir. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time explaining all the cards, because I've talked about Gardevoir previously on the channel before, but we're just going to quickly go through this deck list and hop into some games, because I'm honestly pretty excited to play Gardevoir. It's definitely a fun deck. So Gardevoir is basically, the whole deck revolves around you being able to use Gardevoir EX's Psychic Embrace ability to attach as many Psychic Energy cards to your Pokemon, which the old version used to be you wanted to get as many energies as you wanted in play as possible. The new version relies on you getting damage counters, because Psychic Embrace puts 2 damage counters on those Pokemon. You want to be able to power up your Drifloons to do Balloon Blast for tons of damage, potentially one-shotting anything in the format, depending on what tool you have attached, which we'll get to that in a minute. Or Scream Tail with a Roaring Scream, allowing you to do 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on this Pokemon, which allows you to have a huge snipe potential, one-shot basically anything in the game with snipe potential. So it's really, really cool. So the deck is a lot different than what it used to be. It has a lot more different techs and tools, specifically tools, because it no longer plays a ton of energies, because the deck no longer needs to play a ton of energies. So we're still running the Gardevoir line of our 3 teleportation burst Ralts, which is just mainly for 70 HP. The 60 HP Ralts memory skip can be very powerful and very disruptive on your opponent. Not really that important though. Kirlia is our main draw engine. The refinement ability is incredibly powerful. We can discard things like energies or worthless cards, and then we can draw 2. Gardevoir we already talked about. Scream Tail we already talked about. Jirachi protects our Pokemon from stuff like Sableye, especially when we put a ton of damage on our own Pokemon. And then also we have a couple other like disruptive cards. We have Manaphy to protect our Pokemon from like Radiant Greninja. We have Radiant Greninja, ironically, as the next card, for the Concealed Cards ability, nothing more, just to discard energies and draw more cards. And then we also have Flutter Mane and Klefki in here to lock down our opponent and prevent, mainly this is against Lost Box, and you use this mainly to counter that sort of, counter those basics. Hex Hurl can be used, it's not very important, but it's there if you need to do 90 damage. And then Klefki is just in here for Mischievous Lock, which is a very good ability. So both of these are just kind of in here for disruptive potential. Not going to be used in every matchup, but they do count, or they do make a difference when they're there. So, yeah, that's the Pokemon. Then we are playing for Buddy-Buddy Poffin, which is Gardevoir is one of the best decks for Buddy-Buddy Poffin, or I guess Buddy-Buddy Poffin is like most beneficial in Gardevoir. It benefits the most. But basically, Buddy-Buddy Poffin allows us to put basically any of our Pokemon in play. Honestly, it puts every single Pokemon in our deck except for Flutter Mane, basic Pokemon in our deck except for Flutter Mane and Radiant Greninja, down onto our bench, which is absolutely insane, and it's very helpful. We are also playing 3 Nest Ball, just so we can get out like those Radiant Greninjas and the Flutter Mane, I guess. Just the one Radiant Greninja. I don't know why I said multiple. Earthen Vessel gets energies into our hand, also allows us to discard stuff. Counter Catcher, Gardevoir likes to play. It gets behind sometimes, and so Counter Catcher really helps offset that sort of stuff. There's no more reversal energy in here because there's no more single prize Gardevoir, but that is alright. We are also playing 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball. And yeah, Heavy Ball is really just so that we can get one of our one-of attackers, or one of disruption support sort of stuff. 2 copies of Ultra Ball. I've seen the 2 copies is a little bit different than your typical 4, but that's because Ultra Ball literally is only really going to get you like Gardevoir EX. So it's not that helpful anymore. It's not as helpful anymore, and so it's okay if you just kind of get rid of it. You got rid of 2 in this, and it's fine if you only play 2. We are playing 1 copy of Pal Pad to get back supporters. We already talked about Nest Ball. 2 copies of Super Rod to recycle our Pokemon and get them back into play. It also can get energies back in so that we can cycle them again with like concealed cards. Okay, onto our supporters here. Arven, we were playing 4 copies of Arven because mainly Arven grabs us tool cards, and there are a lot of tool cards in here, and the deck is really centralized on tools. That's one of the biggest weaknesses of the deck, though, is that it's so reliant on tools that your opponent, like a Lost Vacuum, completely can screw you over and then lose you the game very easily. But Arven is great because it gets us one of our item cards, and it gets us one of our tool cards, which is just very nice. We are playing 1 copy of Boss's Orders, mainly because we don't really care about, like, most of the time we don't really mind what's in the active spot, because Screamtail can just kind of knock out whatever we want on their bench, as long as they don't have like Manaphy in play, and as long as everything is set up correctly. We are playing 4 copies of Iono, and I did not remember to change the Iono art to the full art one. I apologize, but we are playing 4 copies of Iono because I don't know. Gardevoir and Iono are kind of like sort of iconic sort of thing. So 4 copies of Iono, punish our opponent for taking prizes on our 1 prizers, and then 1 copy of Professor Turo Scenario, mainly in case we get like super damaged and have a super damaged Pokemon in play, we can get that scooped up. Or the actual main reason that I just thought of off the top of my head, which I don't know why I didn't say this first, is in case your opponent plays, is trying to like stall your Greninja. If your opponent sends up your Greninja or your Jirachi or your Manaphy, you're kind of stuck there. If it's like a block lax matchup, you kind of just lose block lax, but Turo's allows you to put it back into your hand and kind of say, nope, no thank you, I don't want that in the active spot, let me put up a new Pokemon. And because Gardevoir plays no switch, which I still think is a little bit in my opinion. I don't like having no switch. That's not really something I'm comfortable with. We are playing 2 copies of Bravery Charm. Bravery Charm is the best one for both Drifloon and Screamtail. It allows them to do a lot more damage because they can put more damage counters on them. We are playing Hero's Cape as our A spec because it allows us to put on 100 extra HP, which can make something really tanky like a Gardevoir. Gets super tanky, or we can put it on an attacker and have it just one-shot anything and do like absurd amounts of damage. Like you can do up to, I think, 360 if you have a Hero's Cape on, which is just crazy. We are also playing 1 copy of Luxurious Cape, which allows us to attach this again, and it gives it another plus 100 HP, but it does have the downside of your opponent takes 2 prizes off of the Luxurious Cape Pokemon instead of 1. Or 1 more prize card. So if we're against like Future Box, which Future Box is also a horrible matchup for Gardevoir, they take 3 prizes off of 3 prizes off of Drifloon, it's over. So, and then finally we have, Technical Machine Evolution. We use this, we want to go second, really. If we can get the Technical Machine Evolution going, then we can evolve into Kirlias and kind of just do it that way. Surprisingly, there is no rare candy in this list, which I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. I don't dislike it, but it just is a little like odd and a little awkward. So it's like very reliant on you getting a TM evolution on the first turn. And finally, we have 8 copies of Basic Psychic Energy. Again, we play less energies because we focus more on damage counters nowadays rather than energies. Okay, we're heading into what you guys will see as my first game. I ironically said in the other recording that I wouldn't be editing anything out, but the 2 games that you guys will never see, were awful. Both of them were terrible. I bricked. I could not do anything. Why am I facing the same, like, 3 people? I've been facing these people all day. And they're all in Master Ball League. Like, it's crazy. But I am going to make this video less edited. Like, I might edit out a bad game or something. No, we want to go second. some like really horrible games that are just terrible for content. What? Why? This has been like the starts every single time. Like, what can I do with this? Like, Arven. Give me Arven. You better give me Arven. There are 4 of them in this deck. This is just absurd. I can't do it. I can't. It's so bad. Why couldn't I have started with like Klefki or Flutter Mane? You know, like the 2 Pokemon that are specifically in here for this matchup. Because like, if we don't get a singular basic Pokemon, we attach Bravery Charm and then pray that they just don't get Cram. Because if they lost out to Colress, that definitely means that they have another Colress in hand. That's just a good Lost Box rule of thumb. It's Tina. Oh, we lose to Tina, don't we? We kind of just don't win against Tina. Guys, if they have Lost Vacuum Cramorant, they're gonna have Lost Vacuum Cramorant. I'm just so far behind now. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. I just lose. Who knows? We might actually live the turn. And then what? We still basically just lose. Cramorant. Don't you dare have Lost Vacuum. I guess they can just... Energy. Okay, Spit. We are on a 1-turn death timer here. Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Thank you for saving this run, saving the game here. I think we'll just go here because it shuts off all their abilities. Yeah. Okay. This is still horrible. This is just still awful. Could have actually attacked with the Klefki. But here, have a Klefki. Have fun with the mischievous lock ability. Now, none of their Pokemon... They always have it. They always do. They always have everything that they need. It only happens when I play Gardevoir. It only happens when I play Gardevoir. Every other deck that I've played on this channel, or just on my own, has been, like... Sure, I have bad starts sometimes, but Gardevoir is consistently the worst luck to start. It is just the worst. It is not working. Everything about it is just horrible. I won the coin flip. I've won the coin flip every time. And guess what? I've lost every time. Because this deck, it's either PTCG Live's RNG, which you already all know is horrible. That would have been a great hand if Gardevoir was any basic Pokemon. Because I would have had Arven, and I would have been able to go Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and then Technical Machine Evolution. Like, and it's going to give me a horrible hand with like Manaphy and nothing else. And then, yeah, I'm going to lose again. One mulligan. No, you'll just give me Manaphy. I mean, like, it's better this time around, but still, it's awful. What do I do? Scream Tail? Manaphy? I think we just go Manaphy in the active. Alright, what are we up against? Let me guess, like Lost Box. No, it's a mirror match. Okay, well... We don't have TM Evolution. If we do draw into Arven, I think this deck would benefit from a Lumineon. Honestly, I think even though it's a 2-prize liability, this deck would definitely benefit from being able to get a supporter when you need it. And Lumineon is just the best way to do it. If they have nothing, then we actually are looking like we win. Why did it take so long to use a Hisuian Heavy Ball? Oh, don't tell me he's one of the slow players, man. No, please no. Dude, I hate slow players. Just play your turn. Please. Jeez. Ultra Ball. Oh, well that is just great, man. That's just great. Just another Ralts. Okay. So, the bad news is we have 0, like... Wow, another Kirlia. Guess what? I don't have those. So I just go here, and then we pass. That's all I can do. They just win by getting ahead. Rare Candy Gallade? What the heck? Maybe Gallade is what you're looking for. Rare Candy Gallade. I don't know. I just found this deck on Limitless. It was like, it won a tournament one day ago. And I was like, okay, well, let's make a video about it. Oh, yeah, Arven. Great. Cool. That's just so great. Now, let's go Buddy Poffin and Technical Machine Evolution. Let's get completely set up. While PKTCG just sits here and gets nothing. Oh wow, Kirlia. Crazy. Alright, well, let's see what we get. A Buddy-Buddy Poffin, okay. I mean, that does somewhat put us... No, we want just Ralts. We can still get into the game. The vacuum is actually very important. I think we're banking on getting... Okay. Go here, and then we just Iono. We do give him another card, but that's fine. We get 6. And not a single Technical Machine de-evolution. Or evolution, excuse me. Concealed cards. Do it. Of course you didn't. Okay, well, awesome. I think we just probably... We don't even want to retreat, do we? No, we just pass. Just can't get Technical Machine Evolution at all. And now we're just kind of behind, because they have 3 Kirlias. We have 1. Just get everything they want. Even more energies in there. The good news is that Screamtail is not that great right now. But don't worry, they'll just be able to discard every single energy in their deck all at once. Refinement. So they're just going to keep trying to use Refinement before using Buddy Catch? Okay. Refinement. Is that every single energy card in their deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. League Headquarters. Okay, well that doesn't do anything to anyone in this matchup because we both are playing the same deck. An Arven is not an Iono, which is good. Because this hand's semi-decent. I think the problem though is that we just lose the prize trade. I mean, we do have a Lost Vacuum to be able to cheat out another prize card. But I'm gonna guess we're playing very similar lists. Ooh, they also are milling through like almost their entire deck here. Don't worry, they have 4 Ionos. They'll just be able to, yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking for something, really anything here. A Flutter Mane. Are they actually about to go Flutter Mane? No, okay, they're not. Cool. Well, that was a very underwhelming turn from our opponent. I think, do we just target down the Gallade? Or do we target down a Kirlia? First things first, we're definitely going to go concealed cards. We can refinement away a heavy ball, because that's just completely useless. Arguably the Nest Ball is too, but the heavy ball is just more useless. We do have Ultra Ball. We are doing, what, 40 damage? That's not even knocking anything out. We'll be doing 60. I could do something like this. Go for an Earthen Vessel and a TM Evolution. That seems fine. Because I still have 2 Kirlias, right? Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Because what I can do here is Earthen Vessel. I have used Refinement. Okay, well, that's just awful. We go Earthen Vessel away the Nest Ball. Yeah, that's fine. Get 2 energies. Okay, so we could go on the offensive right now. Go get the Gardevoir. So I think we just take the early lead. Surprise, I can't believe we're even saying that right now. Oh, okay, well, I think our opponent just realized that we'd take advantage of, like, we'd be ahead in the prize race. Who knows at this point. Well, we won against the mirror matchup, which, is good for me. I mean, yay, we won. Gardevoir won. But it also shows that Gardevoir lost. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to not like this deck. Dude, I faced the same 3 people today. Like, what the heck? Alright, let's try this again. So, oh my gosh, we've won every single coin flip so far today. I think, like, even casually playing today. I've been playing a lot today. Probably around 20, 30, no, not even that, not 20, 30, probably like 15-ish matchups today, and I've won the coin flip like every single time. See, this would have been a great hand, honestly, if the Luxurious Cape, if that was a Pokemon. Any basic Pokemon. Any. If it's, oh, why? What is this? If it's Future Box, we're screwed. Yes, place them all down. Place them all down. Wow! Yeah, okay, I can't. I can't play this deck anymore. It's so bad. I am actually just gonna delete it, probably, right after recording this video. But we won 1 game. You know what, we'll take away that we won 1 game with Gardevoir. I think that Gardevoir is just, it's so clunky now in the first beginning turns of the game. And maybe that's just PTCG Live, but I think this is actually the first, like, negative review I'm leaving for a deck I've actually played on the channel before. I usually say that it's really fun, and that it's, like, just a really fun deck to play. It's good, or it's just an interesting concept, but this just felt awful in every single possible way. We only won because our opponent wasn't able to get the pieces that they needed, even though they drew through half their deck. And they were playing, honestly, a better version of Gardevoir than this. So I think my overall rating of the deck is probably just, like, I don't know, a 6 out of 10. It's just not good anymore. Gardevoir is just not worth it to me. You should not expect to see very much Gardevoir in the game anymore, because there's just so many other decks that are way better than this, and they're not so fragile to the point where you just instantly lose if your opponent gets the simplest of and most common combos, or you don't instantly lose if your opponent gets a Lost Vacuum or something like that. You know, like, this deck is just, it's too fragile, it's too clunky, and overall, I just don't really like how Gardevoir feels now, which is a shame, because I really liked Gardevoir pre-rotation, but post-rotation, it's just not worth it to me. So, yeah, that's just my personal experience with the deck. It's just not been good. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I don't really have the patience or the mental strength to try and play this deck anymore. If you want to try it out for yourself, you're more than welcome to. It won a tournament, and it definitely won a tournament for a reason. And that's maybe just because people had a bit of better luck, but I can't play it anymore. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Thank you all so much for watching and for kind of enduring this pain fest with me. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, have fun, we'll see you out there, and we'll see you next time. Thank you all so much for watching.